Good afternoon and welcome to Markets Today. I'm your host, Mbithe Mwema. It's a Monday, it's a gloomy Monday here in Nairobi, the capital of the capital of Kenya. And I'm wondering, how was your weekend? Talk to me. Tell me, what are you up to? What are your trade calls for this week? Well, as we start off a new week, I'll give you an overview of how the markets closed last week. I'll also give you a tidbit in terms of what are we seeing today on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. I'll also be giving you a couple of hints in terms of what to look out for with regards to opportunities on the NSE. And then just before we get into our one-on-one segment, which will come after the break, I'll be taking your questions on Ask Mbithe. Now, this is a segment where I ask you, reach out to me, say hello to me, tell me where you're watching from and what you would like to know when it comes to investment. Our SMS line is 201486. Alternatively, you can find me on social media. That's Mbithe Mwema on either Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn. However, you can also come through our Metropole TV handles as well. That's Metropole TV on Twitter, that's Metropole TV on Instagram, that's Metropole TV on Facebook as well as Instagram. Let's take a look at how the market closed last week, and I'll give you an overview of what's happening in as far as sentiment is concerned on NSE today. We have the statistics coming up in a few, so we are waiting for the statistics to come up, and then we will be able to talk through that. I think our graphics team will be able to be of assistance in that regard. Okay, looks like there's a bit of a technical hitch there, but looking at the markets today, we've actually seen it open up on an upbeat. 12 million shares have already traded on Safaricom. A lot of foreign investor interest in this particular stock. KCB on this Monday is the second traded stock. 1.8 million shares have gone through this particular counter. We've seen some volume also go through Kenya Re as well as a Scan Group. Kenya Re, I think about 300,000 shares have traded over the day. Scan Group slightly over 200,000 shares. In terms of the price movers for today, we have Nation Media, which is already up 9% to 18.55. This share had touched a low of 13 shillings in the month of August. So certainly some of the investors who bought in at 13 are sitting pretty at 18.5. From 18.5, I think the upside will be muted, so you want to be careful. Probably consider exiting if you have been buying at the lower levels. But be cautious if you want to get into this particular stock at this point in time. On corporate news, Kenya Power has also published its results for the full year. This also comes along as we have an Auditor General now. There had been a delay for the financials for the likes of Kenya Power and KenGen. There was a delay because they needed the Auditor General to be able to sign off on this account before they were published. The full year numbers that have been published for Kenya Power with the month ending June are as follows. The revenue was actually up 17% to 112 billion Kenya shillings. This company is generating more than sufficient revenue. On the flip side, we actually saw the profit after tax come to as low as 262 million shillings. This is coming from a high of over 3 billion in the last reported year. Now, what's happening from the top line and to the bottom line? When you actually look at the numbers for Kenya Power, we are seeing that there has been a massive increase in terms of their financing cost. In the year ended 2019 June, they ended up paying over 10 billion shillings just to finance their operations. Compared to the previous year, they paid 7 billion shillings. What is this company using this financing for? It's actually using it to manage its short-term working capital needs as it continues to double up with the fact that people haven't been paying their bills on time. And there was also the government directive for Kenya Power not to cut off people who are unable to pay their electricity, especially at the onset of COVID-19. So this company is now 262 million worth of profit. It's trading at 1.9 shillings. No dividend has been declared. So we fail to see any upside for this particular stock. I can see we have our graphics up. Let's take a look at what was happening last week, and then I will come back to you with regards to Ask Mbithe. We have our share price movements for last week, some slight upward movement with as far as the indices are concerned. The NSE all share was 141.25. Now, Friday last week was a lean day. Anytime on Friday and Monday, we tend to see muted activity on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, of course, with the exception for today. The data points that we're looking at are what happened last week on Friday, being the 4th of September. So on the 4th of September, this was the upside in terms of the indices, slight movement. Let's take a look at who are the top traders of the day in as far as turnover is concerned. Okay, we are waiting for our graphics team to put that up for us. As they are putting it up, remember on Friday was a bit of a slow day on the NSE. The turnover was down 79% on a day-to-day basis. This is statistics for Friday. For today, being Monday, the 7th of September, we've actually seen a massive uptick on activity. Safaricom has already traded 12 million shares. Again, statistics for Friday. If you had been watching from the beginning, I was giving you an overview of today's statistics. Today, Nation Media is the top gainer, up already 10 percentage points to 18.5 shillings per share. Friday, 4th of September, this was the performance of the market. Scan Group was the top performer there, up to 8.4 shillings per share. Nation Media, second performer, 16.95, up 9 percentage points on Friday. Today, it is the top mover. We've actually seen it get to a high of 18.5 shillings per share. IGAD's, Uchumi and Stanbic holders were also up there on Friday. Let's take a look at what the top losers looked like last week. All right, so let's now get into the Ask Mbithe segment. So some of you actually reached out to us and gave us your questions. I have a specific question from one of our viewers, and our viewer was asking, what is happening with Kenya Re? What is happening to the price? What is happening to volume? Should I buy it today? Here's an overview of what's been happening with Kenya Re. We have seen for the last 1.5 weeks a lot of volume going through the Kenya Re stock. Today, it's the third top traded stock with slightly over 300,000 shares. On Friday, Kenya Re saw over 5 million shares traded. There has been a bit of foreign interest on this particular stock, both on the buy side and on the sell side. On Friday, Kenya Re closed down to 2.1 shillings per share. Today, being Monday, we've seen a bit of activity with some slight executions going through at about 2.3 shillings per share. So we are seeing activity, and the thing that is actually of interest for us is the fact that we have been seeing volumes going through. So if there's volume going through, then that's a trigger point that there could be a trade that's lining up that you want to participate in. Second thing that you want to be aware of is if you are looking at a 25% mark from the 2.10 level, then you're only looking to enter at 2.10 and exit at 2.7 shillings per share. At 2.30, you can still make a 20% return on this stock, oscillating between the 2.1 shilling mark and the 3 shilling mark. We have seen it in the last 1 to 3 months get to the highs of 2.7, 2.8. So there could be a bit of upside there if you are looking to probably put in money for a short-term purpose and also for a speculative purpose. That's the key question that we had from Ask Mbithe. That's our line, 20146. Please send us a shout. Tell us where you're watching from, what you would like to know, and how we can be able to answer any of your investment questions. We take a break. When we come back, we will be going through a debt report that has been published by the analyst at Citon. I'll also be giving you an overview of some of the investment opportunities that I have seen this week on the NSE. Don't go anywhere. We will be back after a few.